Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Elsa Owsley, and I'm here with Mr. Masterson. He is running for County Commissioner. And we're just going to run through a few questions that we have for him our goal is to have you guys get to know him better. We would like to get to know you better as well. We already have their questionnaires, but it's always nice to have a little bit more personal information and get to know you better. So we'll just run through a quick 4 questions and then add whatever you think the public needs to hear from you.
Okay, sounds good.
So the first one is, why are you running for office?
Well, actually, I'm running for about 3 different reasons.
Okay.
One is to ensure fiscal responsibility. Our current commissioners say that they are all physically conservative, but their actions certainly speak louder than their words. Another thing I'd like to do is create a proactive business model to make the county somewhat sustainable, and that's going to take a lot of work to do that, but I'm kind of a pay-as-you-go type of guy, and I think we have to be able to generate revenue without always adding to the tax revenues. The other thing is I want to make the county commissioner's office a lot more accessible for the residents. Commit to the residents of the county that you're going to preserve that rural lifestyle and that you're available to help them out.
Good. Okay. So number 2 is, what are your top 3 priorities should you be elected?
Well, the first one is jump on the fiscal responsibility thing. That's absolutely essential. We are in a spin mode right now. Every time you attend a county commissioners meeting, they're always doling out more money, and we got to get a handle on that. We also got to provide a commitment to the residents of Kootenai County that will work, and it's got to be based on the principles of how I live my life, and that's with honesty, loyalty, integrity. Those are the 3 most important things in my life, and everything I do functions around that. The other thing I want to do is I want to preserve that rural lifestyle. And we just don't get enough of it. We need our kids involved in agriculture programs. We need all of the youth in Kootenai County to be involved in things with 4-H, FFA, various agriculture programs. And that's important to me, and I think it's important to most of the parents that we have right now.
I think so, too. Yes. Keep the kids out of trouble, right?
Yes. Yeah, if they're working, they're not getting in trouble.
That's-
That was my dad's theory.
Every child should have the opportunity to grow up on a farm. We
Yep.
should all be so lucky. And what are your thoughts on growth and how it will impact Kootenai County over the next 10 years?
Well, we can't stop the growth. People are going to move here. It's a great place to live. I've lived here for 65 years, and, we can't stop it, but we can manage it. But in order to manage it, we have got to provide a stronger infrastructure. And when I'm talking about infrastructure, I'm not just talking about roads. I'm talking about the police departments, the fire departments, EMS, the hospitals, the school systems. It's a package deal. And right now, we're way behind. When I was a kid, we drove on the same highways that we drive on today, and that was 65 years ago. The only highway that is remarkably different is Highway 41. And they put in a nice road over there and then put stoplights every quarter mile. So,
Okay. And then what is your background and how will it help the county should you be elected?
I have the educational background to do this job well, and my time in the military, my time in the medical field has allowed me to have a lot of exposure to manage a lot of people, manage large budgets, do both personnel and business management for hospitals. I was the director of nurses at a hospital in Post Falls where I had about 200 employees underneath me. And that really puts you to the test as far as what you're going to do with personnel management issues, what are you going to do with business issues. The other thing, it helps you to develop a skill in consensus building. When I was working in Post Falls, all my employees all had degrees. Most of them had bachelor's degrees, and it's hard to convince 200 people that they're not right, especially when they all got degrees like that. And though I have a degree as well, it's still a difficult situation. So you really build on those skills We had a relatively large budget. Handling budgets for hospitals is a difficult task. I've heard some of my cohorts say, well, managing a budget is real simple. You know, you can just, money comes in and money goes out. It's a lot more to it than that. And so that is a big issue. That's probably the biggest thing that I would take away, or the biggest thing that I would contribute to why I can do this. I have a skill set to be able to do every task there. I'm not saying I'm going to go in there day one and know everything I got to know, but I can work hard. I will work hard, and I think that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. I think everyone that goes into the position, unless they've already been doing it, will have a learning curve, no matter what.
Yes, yeah, I absolutely agree. And the nice thing, I'm not embarrassed to say, hey, I need some help here.
Right.
You know, we have enough experts in this county at other things that you can seek out those areas where you're weak, and don't feel like you're being beat up by asking for it. You know, that's part of life as well.
So in closing, can you please give us your final closing statement of what you think the voters need to know about you, your background, or anything else you want to share?
Okay. First of all, I think Kootenai County has enough out-of-state politicians. We need to get back to what Kootenai County stands for. We need to have somebody in the commissioner's office that knows what this county is about, knows that lifestyle, and can provide stability to the residents of it. We also don't need a commissioner that wants to sell off the county properties. Just an example, the wastewater treatment plant, the airport, the fairgrounds, we don't need that stuff. So we worked hard to build those to where they're functional, and we need to keep them in place. We also need someone that has formal training in budget management and personnel and business management. There's essentially 15 departments plus the airport that come under the county commissioners. The current commissioners will tell you there's 16 departments because they count the airport as part of that, but it's mostly handled by the FAA. And that's a lot of people to deal with. And, you know, though most of your input to those departments are from a budget standpoint, but there's still personnel issues that come up with things, and you've got to be able to deal with them appropriately. So I think the formal training in that is helpful. So the end result is we need also a commissioner that knows this county, that can reach consensus. The current Board of Commissioners constantly playing tug of war with who's going to vote what way. They can't reach consensus and go away and be supportive of each other. They're just constantly battling, it seems like. And I don't like that idea at all. I think we need to have somebody that can reach consensus, that's not afraid to stand up and talk to them, not afraid to stand up and talk to the public, discuss things with the public, take their input, apply it where you can.
Yeah.
And the bottom line is that we need Bat Masterson as the county commissioner.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I think you gave the public, your voters, a lot to process, and it gives you us a better idea of who you are. So we
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having me here. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yep.
Thank you all.